friends that have parents that are illegal immigrants. Personally, I'm African American, so I've been here my whole life, generations.
But don't you think that African Americans should be given priority over illegals?
I mean, I think that American citizens should be given priority over people that are committing crime in the country.
And this is the problem. She knows it's illegal.
I feel old.
Oh, hello. My name is Akila. I'm 18. I turned 18 in March, but I'm from Chicago, so I'm doing mail-in voting. Oh, you are too? That's cool. Anyways, so basically in 2014, Venezuela went into a 7-year recession. I'm just trying to give context for the situation for people that don't know. But because of the president, Nicolas Maduro, basically it was like a government-controlled election. So with that, 8 million Venezuelans have left the country since 2014. And they have landed themselves in some of the major cities in the U.S., like Chicago, like Denver, like New York. So with that, there has been an increase in crime. Because I'm from Chicago, so I know that there's a problem with homelessness. And in 2023, when the Biden administration extended legal status to the immigrants, if they had a work visa, I'm just wondering what do you think, what further steps do you think America should take in policing the Venezuelan refugee crisis? What can we do to help the Venezuelans in the source? Because also in August of 2017, I know that Trump proposed a military option, and he kind of nodded to the 1989 U.S. invasion of Panama, to where they deposed the leader because he was wanted for drug trafficking.
Before we get too deep, wow, this is an extremely detailed question. This is going to be a good video here. We react to college students talking to a Kamala voter, or I'm assuming a Democratic voter, about the open border crisis. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this short, but I also want to preface, I'm voting for Kamala Harris, but I'm not here to make politically charged statements. So yeah, just what do you think, regardless of who's president after the election, what do you think should be done about the crisis?
Well, I'm not here to pin, but I would have you reconsider your choice for Kamala Harris if you care about the Venezuelans in these cities, because you'll have another 20 million people come into these cities, and it's tearing Chicago apart.
I mean, yeah, because in 2023 or something like that, about over 300,000 Venezuelan refugees came to the U.S. border. So
it'll be 3 million if she's elected. Just so you're clear, okay?
Sure.
So what will Donald Trump do? Very simple. On day one, if you have committed a crime, including a DUI, you're deported back to your country of origin. Period. That if you commit a crime on American soil, we're not going to house you, we're not going to feed you, we're not going to put you in prison. You get back on a flight and you go back there. Number two, if you are part of a gang like Tren de Aragua, which is taking over apartment complex in Chicago or Aurora, Colorado, get back on a plane and you go back. Then from there, you have to have a plan of a deportation effort with Immigration Customs Enforcement and Department of Homeland Security. But Vivek can take this. All of that is all applicable only if you secure the border, or else you're just keep on trying to get the basement to stop flooding without actually trying to plug the leak.
So I've been to the south side of Chicago. I've seen exactly what you describe as well. I'm just curious, knowing what you do, because you were pretty well informed in that question. I actually think a lot of this is intentional in countries like Venezuela, and we're giving them foreign aid, by the way. One other thing I would do, and I think Donald Trump's on the same page here, is cut off foreign aid to these countries unless and until they've stopped exporting these illegals to our own country.
And I may be a little more intolerant on this discussion, I don't even know how this is a debate topic. I really don't get it. If people come into America illegally, they should be deported. That's simple, and it's simply because it's illegal. It's just illegal. America has a very generous and lenient legal immigration process relative to other superpowers in the world, such as China and Russia. We are the most lenient of the three. So when it comes to illegal immigration, we're even lenient when it comes to that. We're talking about whether or not we should deport not only illegal immigrants, but illegal immigrants who've committed other crimes. Obviously, when Donald Trump said he would do that, that's not a crazy thing. I don't know if I'm just super conservative or what, but yeah, if an illegal immigrant commits a crime, you should be deported, obviously. I think they should be deported just because they came to the country illegally. But Donald Trump said he will deport them if they commit a crime, which crossing the border illegally is already a crime, but we've probably crossed that. We've crossed that. Now we're talking about committing another crime, such as a DUI or for example, setting someone on fire. which actually happened. How did we get to this point as a country? This should just be common sense. This is not about whether or not you're conservative or Democrat or whatever. This should just be common sense. What in the world?
As well. But my question for you is, knowing as much as you do about this border crisis and seeing how much it's worsened in the last 3 years, why on earth are you voting for Kamala Harris, who's actually been part of the administration that gave us this crisis in the first place?
Okay, well, like I said, I'm not really here to make politically charged
No,
statements.
fair enough.
No, I get it.
but
I'm just
ask
saying
respectfully.
because, I'm going to be honest, I'm not too well versed on actual policies that aren't regarding that specifically because I kind of had to write a research paper on it.
Have you voted yet?
No, I'm a mail-in voter.
Okay, so can you just? We got time. So all
okay.
I would say is, you seem somebody who is so well versed in this issue.
Okay.
Because you're actually far ahead of Republican and Democrat politicians on this issue.
Oh yeah, you know way more than U.S. senators on this.
Like
Thank
many
you.
U.S.
Thank you.
senators. Okay.
Okay.
So just take a look in the same way you have at that issue.
Okay.
Take a look at energy policy.
Uh-huh.
Right? Is the U.S. better off when we drill more or when we drill
Right,
less?
okay.
When we look at have prices gone up over the last 4 years, we've had the biggest spike in prices that we've had probably in your lifetime.
Sure.
As wages have stayed flat. Under Donald Trump, it was reverse. Just consider that there's a different way. It doesn't have to stay this way. You're 18. How old are you?
Yes, fresh.
Okay.
Fresh.
So you're 18. It's in some ways all you've grown up into, right? Consider the possibility there's a better way. Okay, there's a better alternative. And before you cast that ballot, look at the crisis for the Venezuelans here and of this country for that influx of illegals. That's happening in every other domain, from violent crime to our economy to now what we're happening on the global stage on the brink of World War III. There's still time to consider a different possibility. Don't do what somebody else told you to, not me, not Charlie, not MSNBC, not anybody else.
Yes.
Just think about it yourself and make an
Yes.
independent choice. And I have a feeling you might be open to changing your mind.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not open to changing my mind. That's just because I've seen like I support immigration. I don't support when criminals are doing bad things in the country, but I also don't support it when you take what this small group did and you try to say that the entire group is doing it. And I do agree that there should, my roommate's over there, but I do agree that there should be asylum checks or something like that to ensure the criminals don't get into the country. But I'm voting against Donald Trump because I have friends that have parents that are illegal immigrants. Personally, I'm African American, so I've been here my whole life, generations. But
But don't you think that African Americans should be given priority over illegals?
I think that American citizens should be given priority over people that are committing crime in the country.
And this is the problem. This is the problem. She knows it's illegal. She knows it's wrong. She knows Donald Trump's laws make sense. She knows this. And she's still intolerant. She says she will never change her views. She will never change her stance. This is the problem. We have people, and we also have dumb people who don't know what the problem is, but we have people who do know what the problem is, who do know it doesn't make sense, who do know it's illegal, who do know it's wrong, who they know these things, and they still are saying, I'm not changing my views. They still are saying, I don't care about that. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. Because you know people who are illegal immigrants, you think it's the right thing to do? No, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. And I'm not trying to say they're bad people. I didn't say that at all. I've never said that in my videos. You can't go back to one video where I said illegal immigrants are bad people. Never will come out my mouth. Because at the end of the day, I don't believe the majority of illegal immigrants are bad people. But this isn't a question about morality, in my opinion. This is a question about the laws that we have and the safety of the country and the stability of the country. What other land, what other superpower like America allows in hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants or millions of illegal immigrants annually? We're the only ones. The reason other places don't do this is because if they're illegal immigrants, we don't know who's here. We don't know if they're bringing anything across the border. We don't know. We don't know. It's not about whether or not they're good or bad people. I personally believe, and this is my belief, that the majority of people who cross the border illegally genuinely want a better life. They genuinely do. However, If you have people who are crossing the border doing human trafficking or are drug trafficking or are just arms trafficking or cartel members, if we have these people crossing the border illegally, we don't know. They could be funneling hundreds of thousands of pounds and kilos of drugs or humans. We don't know. They could be kidnapping when you cross the border illegally. But people like her are the reason why these issues will never get fixed. You know it's a problem, but you vote against it anyways.
Let me ask you, did you have a vacation this summer in a luxury hotel paid for by taxpayers?
Very broke, so no.
Yeah, so just so you know, if you break into America, they'll put you up in a luxury hotel in Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah, I did see a lot of that from my friends that are from Mexico.
Is your phone paid for by U.S. taxpayers?
No. Wait, is it? I don't know.
No, it's
Sorry,
not.
I don't know.
You're probably paying for it.
What I'm getting at is that
Thanks.
Black Americans are treated far worse than illegals in this country, and we have violated our social contract to our own citizens. And I just want you to think about that.
Okay.
Is that if you break into America, you get a flight to the city of your choosing, you get taxpayer-funded luxury hotels, you get a taxpayer-funded phone, taxpayer-funded food stamps, whereas many Americans are struggling to even make ends meet. So thank you so much for coming.
Hold on, sorry. I do completely respect your viewpoint on that. I'm just saying once again that we should keep in mind that it's not everyone. Like, some of these people genuinely need aid. And also, I just want to go back to what I was trying to go back to what I was saying about, like, what should we do in America, not more so regarding deportation, but like for the crimes that are happening already, because there are crimes happening against Venezuelans. Even in Chicago, there was a migrant that was killed in December of 2023 in Gage Park. So, like, and then there are Chicagoans that are, like, warning people to stay neutral, to stay out of the violence. So I'm just wondering what
in Chicago,
you would think that we should do about that.
I have a question. So what part of Chicago are you from?
Inglewood.
Yeah, okay, that's rough. Wow, okay. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, so not...
Thanks.
No, I mean... So
Naperville?
Yeah, no, Wheeling, Arlington Heights area, northwest suburbs, yeah.
Slay.
So, what do you think the clearance rate for murder, unexpected clearances, so let's say 10 people are murdered in Chicago. Out of those 10, how many of those cases will be solved on average, do you think?
I don't know. Do you know the answer?
Yeah, and it's not a pop quiz.
No, okay.
It's half. So half of all murders go unsolved in Chicago. It's because we don't have enough police. And so we need to hire a lot more police in Chicago, a lot more detectives.
And let them do their jobs.
Yes. Also, keep in mind the over-policing of black and brown areas is also a bit much.
It does. Do you think there's over-policing in Inglewood?
No. Oh, no.
Hold on.
I live there,
no, this
so
is
I know.
Interesting. No, hold on. So show me one city in America that's over-policed.
You got me on that one.
Well,
buddy.
no, it's not a gotcha because I just want to say it doesn't exist.
No, I don't care that much.
I'm not pinpointing you. I hear this all the time. Over-policing. Show me anywhere in the United States of America that's over-policed.
And she's just drinking the Kool-Aid, man. And I don't want to be too hard on her because at the end of the day, she's an 18-year-old college student. She's a teenager. I'm not going to completely go in on her like I would a news broadcaster who is just completely drinking the Kool-Aid. But it seems like she's just a little ignorant. When it comes to over-policing, she's from Inglewood, so you should know this. If you're in any hood, especially a black hood in America, and you try to call the police, you say they're over-policed, right? See how long it takes the police to show up. Just see how long it takes this over-policed neighborhood to send you a police officer when you're in danger in this neighborhood. Talking about over-policed. I'd actually argue richer communities are over-policed. Because if you live in a richer neighborhood and you call the police, it's going to take about 2-3 minutes for them to show up. You live in a hood, like a black hood, it's going to take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes they don't even show up. And these neighborhoods are over-policed. Are you crazy? That's a crazy statement. Don't even make sense. Considering majority of murders in these neighborhoods go unsolved because they are under-policed. It just doesn't make sense. There are no police officers there. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. My name is LFR Jojo, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.